The sea market. Can you find another market like this, where, with your one rose, you can buy hundreds of rose gardens, where, for one seed, you get a whole wilderness? For one weak breath, the divine wind? You've been fearful of being absorbed in the ground or drawn up by the air. Now, your waterbed lets go and drops into the ocean, where it came from. It no longer has the form it had, but it's still water. The essence is the same. This giving up is not repenting, it's a deep honoring of yourself. When the ocean comes to you as a lover, marry at once, quickly. For God's sake, don't postpone it. Existence has no better gift. No amount of searching will find this. A perfect falcon, for no reason, has landed on your shoulder and become yours. Bismillah. It's a habit of yours to walk slowly. You hold a grudge for years. With such heaviness, how can you be modest? With such attachments, do you expect to arrive anywhere? Be wide as the air to learn a secret. Right now, you're equal portions clay and water, thick mud. Abraham learned how the sun and moon and the stars all set. He said, "No longer will I try to assign partners for God." You are so weak, give up to grace. The ocean takes care of each wave till it gets to shore. You need more help than you know. You're trying to live your life in open scaffolding. Say Bismillah in the name of God, as the priest does with a knife when he offers an animal. Bismillah, your old self, to find your real name. Wean yourself. Little by little, wean yourself. This is the gist of what I have to say. For an embryo whose nourishment comes in the blood, move to an infant drinking milk, to a child on solid food, to a searcher after wisdom, to a hunter of more invisible game. Think how it is to have a conversation with an embryo. You might say, the world outside is vast and intricate. There are wheat fields and mountain passes and orchards in bloom. At night, there are a million galaxies, and in sunlight, the beauty of friends dancing at a wedding. You ask the embryo why he or she stays cooped up in the dark with eyes closed. Listen to the answer. There is no other world. I only know what I have experienced. You must be hallucinating. Tattooing in Coswin. In Coswin, they have a custom of tattooing themselves for good luck, with the blue ink on the back of the hand, the shoulder, wherever. A certain man there goes to his barber and asks to be given a powerful, heroic, blue lion on his shoulder blade. And do it with flair. I've got Leo ascending. I want plenty of blue. But as soon as the needle starts pricking, he howls, "What are you doing?" The lion. Which limb did you start with? I began with the tail. Well, leave out the tail. That lion's rump is in a bad place for me. It cuts off my wind. The barber continues, and immediately the man yells out, "Ow! Which part now? The ear." Doc, let's do a lion with no ears this time. The barber shakes his head, and once more the needle. and once more the wailing. Where are you now? The belly. I like a lion without a belly. The master of the lion maker stands for a long time with his fingers in his teeth. Finally, he throws the needle down. No one has ever been asked to do such a thing, to create a lion without a tail or a head or a stomach. God himself could not do it. Brother, stand the pain. Escape the poison of your impulses. The sky will bow to your beauty if you do. Learn to light the candle. Rise with the sun. Turn away from the cave of your sleeping. That way, a thorn expands to a rose. A particular glows with the universal. What is it to praise? Make yourself particles. What is it to know something of God? Burn inside that presence. Burn up. Copper melts in the healing elixir. So melt yourself in the mixture that sustains existence. You tighten your two hands together, determined not to give up saying, I and we. This tightening blocks you. The center of the fire. No more wine for me. I'm past the lighting in the thick red and the clear white. I'm thirsty for my own blood as it moves into a field of action. Draw the keenest blade you have and strike until the head circles about the body. Make a mountain of skulls like that. Split me apart. Don't stop at the mouth. Don't listen to anything I say. I must enter the center of the fire. Fire is my child, but I must be consumed and become fire. Why is there crackling and smoke? Because the firewood and the flames are still talking. You are too dense. Go away. You are too wavering. I have solid form. In the blackness, those two friends keep arguing, like a wanderer with no face, like the most powerful bird in existence, sitting on his perch, refusing to move. What can I say to someone so curled up with wanting, so constricted in his love? Break your pitcher against a rock. We don't need any longer to haul pieces of the ocean around. We must drown, away from heroism and descriptions of heroism. Like a pure spirit lying down, pulling its body over it, like a bride, her husband, for a cover to keep her warm. Someone who goes with half a loaf of bread to a small place that fits like a nest around him. Someone who wants no more, who's not himself longed for by anyone else. He is a letter to everyone. You open it. It says, live. The mystery does not get any clearer by repeating the question, nor is it bought with going to amazing places. Until you've kept your eyes and your wanting still for 50 years, you don't begin to cross over from confusion. Music Master, you that love lovers, this is your home. Welcome. In the midst of making form, love made this form that melts form. With love for the door, soul, the vestibule. Watch the dust grains moving in the light near the window. Their dance is our dance. We rarely hear the umber music, but we're all dancing to it, nevertheless. Directed by the one who teaches us the pure joy of the sun, our music master. When I am with you, we stay up all night. When you're not here, I can't go to sleep. Praise God for these two insomnias and the difference between them. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. We are the mirror, as well as the face in it. We are tasting the taste, this minute, of eternity. We are pain, and what cures pain, both. We are the sweet cold water, and the jar that pours. I want to hold you close, like a lute, so we can cry out with loving. You'd rather throw stones at a mirror. I am your mirror, and here are the stones. Someone digging in the ground. An eye is meant to see things. The soul is here for its own joy. A head has one use, for loving a true love. Legs, to run after. Love is for vanishing into the sky. The mind, for learning what men have done and tried to do. Mysteries are not to be solved. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see why. A lover is always accused of something, but when he finds his love, whatever was lost in the looking comes back completely changed. On the way to Mecca, many dangers, thieves, the blowing sand, only camel's milk to drink. Still each pilgrim kisses the black stone there with pure longing, feeling in the surface the taste of the lips he wants. This talk is like stamping new coins. They pile up, while the real work is done outside by someone digging in the ground. The guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. When I see you and how you are, I close my eyes to the other. For your Solomon seal, I become wax throughout my body. I wait to be light. I give up opinions on all matters. I become the reed flute for your breath. You were inside my head. I kept reaching around for something. I was inside your head, but I kept asking questions of those who know very little. I must have been incredibly simple, or drunk, or insane, to sneak into my own house and steal money, to climb over the fence and take my own vegetables. But no more. I've gotten free of that ignorant fist that was pinching and twisting my secret self. The universe and the light of the stars come through me. I'm the crescent moon put up over the gate to the festival. Solomon's crooked crown. Solomon was busy judging others when it was his personal thoughts that were disrupting the community. His crown slid crooked on his head. He put it straight, but the crown went awry again. 8 times this happened. Finally, he began to talk to his headpiece. Why do you keep tilting over my eyes? I have to. When your power loses compassion, I have to show what such a condition looks like. Immediately, Solomon recognized the truth. He knelt and asked forgiveness. The crown centered itself on his crown. When something goes wrong, accuse yourself first. Even the wisdom of Plato or Solomon can wobble and go blind. Listen when your crown reminds you of what makes you cold towards others, as you pamper the greedy energy inside. On gambling. If you want what visible reality can give, You're an employee. If you want the unseen world, you're not living your truth. Both wishes are foolish, but you'll be forgiven for forgetting that what you really want is love's confusing joy. Gamble everything for love if you're a true human being. If not, leave this gathering. Half-heartedness doesn't reach into majesty. You set out to find God, but then you keep stopping for long periods at mean-spirited roadhouses. In a boat down a fast-running creek, it feels like trees on the bank are rushing by. What seems to be changing around us is rather the speed of our craft leaving this world. Polishing the mirror. When Abu Bakr met Muhammad, he said, "This is not a face that lies." Abu Bakr was one whose bowl has fallen from the roof. There's no hiding the fragrance that comes from an ecstatic. A polished mirror cannot help reflecting. Muhammad once was talking to a crowd of chieftains, princes with great influence, when a poor blind man interrupted him. Muhammad frowned and said to the man, "Let me attend to these visitors. This is a rare chance. Whereas you are already my friend, we'll have ample time." Then someone nearby said, "That blind man may be worth 100 kings. Remember the proverb, human beings are minds. World power means nothing. Only the unsayable, jeweled inner life matters." Muhammad replied, "Do not think that I am concerned with being acknowledged by these authorities. If a beetle moves towards rosewater, it proves that the solution is diluted. Beetles love dung, not rose essence. If a coin is eager to be tested by the touchstone, that coin itself may be a touchstone. A thief loves the night. I am day. I reveal essences. A calf thinks God is a cow. A donkey's theology changes when someone new pets it and gives what it wants. I am not a cow or thistles for camels to browse on. People who insult me are only polishing the mirror." The granary floor. A Sufi was wandering the world. One night he came as a guest to a community of Sufis. He tied up his donkey in the stable and then was welcomed to the head of the dais. They went into deep meditation and mystical communion, he and these friends. For such people, a person's presence is more to learn from than a book. A Sufi's book is not composed with ink and alphabet. A scholar loves and lives on the marks of a pen. A Sufi loves footprints. He sees those and stalks his game. At first, he sees the clues. After a time, he can follow the scent. To be guided by fragrance is 100 times better than following tracks. A person who is opening to the divine is like a door to a Sufi. What might appear a worthless stone to others, to him is a pearl. You see your image clearly in a mirror. A sheik sees more than that in a discarded brick. Sufi masters are those whose spirits existed before the world, before the body. They lived many lifetimes. Before seeds went into the ground, they harvested wheat. Before there was an ocean, they strung pearls. While the great meeting was going on about bringing human beings into existence, they stood up to their chins in wisdom water. When some of the angels opposed creation, the Sufi sheiks laughed and clapped among themselves. Before materiality, they knew what it was like to be trapped inside matter. Before there was a night sky, they saw Saturn. Before wheat grains, the taste of bread, with no mind, they thought. Immediate intuition to them is the simplest act of consciousness. What to others would be epiphany. Much of our thought is of the past or the future. They are free of those. Before a mine is dug, they judge coins. Before vineyards, they know the excitements to come. In July, they feel December. In unbroken sunlight, they find shade. In fauna, the state where all objects dissolve, they recognize objects. The open sky drinks from their circling cup. The sun wears the gold of their generosity. When two of them meet, they are no longer two. They are 1 in 600,000. The ocean waves are their closest likeness. When wind makes from unity the numerous. This happened to the sun, and it broke into rays through the window, into bodies. The disk of the sun does exist, but if you see only the ray bodies, you may have doubts. The human divine combination is a oneness, plurality, the apparent separation into rays. Friend, we're traveling together. Throw off your tiredness. Let me show you one tiny spot of the beauty that cannot be spoken. I'm like an ant that's gotten into the granary, ludicrously happy, and trying to lug out a grain that's way too big. Dark sweetness. The ground turns green. A drum begins. Commentaries on the heart arrive in 7 volumes. The pen puts its head down to give a dark sweetness to the page. Planets go wherever they want. Venus sways near the North Star. The moon holds on to Leo. The host who has no self is here. We look in each other's eyes. A child is still a child, even after it's learned the alphabet. Solomon lifts his morning cup to the mountains. Sit down in this pavilion, and don't listen to religious bickering. Be silent as we absorb the spring.